Life's too short for a while. That's why some noise and chase the moon. Got jokes to crack, got things to share. A little chaos, who needs air? Better together, we'll laugh. We'll climb, better together, one step at a time. If the world feels heavy, we'll make it light. Better together, wrong feels right. Bring your dreams. We'll mix it.
Well, that didn't want to work, so we'll just go to me. Now, if I can figure out how to get just me up there, no, that isn't what I wanted. I want me up there, big and without that other rock. Yes, I am not great at this right now. Remove. There. Hi. Yeah, sorry, the intro music wasn't working too well. I need to get that just in a music thing, and that video doesn't want to play on this. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. It just doesn't matter. Now I'll see if I can get my video to start. Hey, it works. Hey, there I am. Hi. At least that works. Seems like my, oh yeah, my new light helps. Makes it brighter over there. So you can see what I'm actually doing. Hope you can hear me okay. It's all the way up. Excuse me if I often like clear my throat or have a little sniffle because it's um ragweed season is starting and kind of getting the hay fever stuff going on. So please excuse that. I would rather not take too much for you know extra meds right now because it seems like I got enough of them in me anyways. Oh, thank you, Heidel, for being here. I know you got a busy day today. Um, I don't know if there's anybody else around, but maybe somebody is. I was just gonna prep this for. Oh, there's Queen. What was I just spraying on the paint? It's acrylic paint, and I just got to keep it moist. So I was just spraying a little water on it, just mist and water to keep it moist, and so I can keep using it. Um, Yeah, you're here. That's good. Thank you for being here, Queen. Um, no, I'm just gonna prep this because I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna paint on this yet. One of a couple things. Oh, dog wants to do back there. Um, well, no, it's different than oil paints. It dries much, much quicker than oil paints. Oil paints take forever to dry. You could leave oil paints out like this for a few days and keep painting with them. Where acrylics, if I left them and didn't spray water on them every once in a while, within an hour, this would be solid kind of thing. I mean, it dries to the touch in minutes when you paint it. So it's a very quick, which is nice for some things, but you can't really blend as well. So it's not as good for other things. But there aren't I don't get high that you use for that. Which I have oil painted before, but I haven't for a while. I should do that again sometime just for, you know, this is kind of more like how house paint is. Hey, Shenny. Had to be Kelly. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. No, but I'll show you one of the things now that, um, oh, I didn't really want I don't, I guess it doesn't matter. If I have the chat up over there, that's fine. Um, yeah, now I gotta show a picture because we need a bob wig on while you paint. No, but hey, well, just a minute, we'll get something just because of what some of the subject matter is there. Um, yes, um, yeah, I do not need a bob wig though. I would not wear a bob wig. Um, if I can get it to get to my, oh man, it's not gonna show me. I was sure I saved them to that. Oh, yep, here it is. Um, I have a new edition, quite exciting. Um, it looks a lot like my last old edition, but it's a different one. My sister had another chicken getting picked on, so um, this is a new one. I should have cropped it so it showed up bigger on here. She's a little smaller than the other one. Uh, she's got to be in a private room for a little bit because she got picked on the back a little bit, missing a few feathers. But she's doing well. Already got an egg from her. That was nice. Yesterday, or yeah, and today she didn't have one yet, but that was pretty early when I was out there. So no, I did not name this one Gumbo. It's not. No, this one's name is Noodle. I thought Noodle and Soup was a good name for this. So now I have my chickens are Noodle Soup. No, no, it's Noodle and Soup. So she's a little more timid than the other one, but still follows me around and stuff. Yes, I'm not gonna name it Gumbo. I thought about it for like a millisecond and then went, no, not gonna. Gumbo just isn't. That's no, it just wasn't gonna happen. Sorry. Yeah, but no, got a new chicken, so hopefully she does okay. Soup was a little chased her a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, I told Heidel that I had a new one. You get the next one. There is not gonna be a next one. 2 is my limit. There is no next one. No, I already told my sister that she's gotta find different places to get rid of if any more of her chickens get picked on. I'm not gonna do that. No. Um, no, so I don't think I'm gonna paint one of her right now because she's a little pecked on and even up on top. Yes, I know it would be nice to have chicken noodle soup, but, you know, yes, that would be but I'm not having 3 chickens. Oh my god, the amount of eggs would be even when they're not laying many. I yeah, that's not I don't need that, and I don't need 3 chickens because by the end of next year, they won't be laying that many eggs, and I don't want 3 chickens because I just don't. Yeah. So, no, we'll start painting a little bit. No, and what I had put on this was, I've been watching I know some others have been watching that Lindsay Clancy case. So if you don't wanna talk about, yeah, mac and a cup of macaroni and cheese. Yeah, macaroni and cheese. I remember that. That is cute. No, I cannot have a rooster, and I can't in town, though my neighbors did for a while. That was a little I mm, I kinda liked it, but I liked it when it was my neighbor's, not mine. I would not like it. I would get anxiety over hearing a rooster crow and thinking any day that, like, the city was gonna come tell me, "You can't have a rooster in town." So, that would kinda bug me. So, yeah, I'm gonna get the canvas a little wet. Helps to get it damp. This doesn't have to be anything. I just kinda wanted a tan background, maybe some lighter stuff in areas. Yes, you can just clean them with water, little, soap and water, comes right out. Yeah, and the paints are mostly I mean, there are some of the pigments aren't or can be a mildly toxic, I think. Most are the bases are non-toxic, so it isn't bad for kids, and there are non-toxic versions of them. But some of the more expensive colors can be a little toxic, but they try not to anymore. Most of them aren't. But these are, like, for kids and stuff, and just being quick to do it, you never know, I might suck on my thumb after I paint and have some on that, and so don't wanna trust me with anything toxic. And they're a lot cheaper than oils too. The oils can go quite a ways too. Oils spread out and blend better. It's but no, the last few or last whatever week and a half, 2 weeks, I've been watching that Lindsay Clancy trial, which kind of yeah, has been a yes, I'm gonna talk a little bit about mental health, um, has been a little disturbing because I kinda changed my mind pretty quickly in that. Once I heard what she had told, yeah, I don't do both of them at I don't sniff I don't sniff feet, but, ooh, excuse me, second. I thought I was gonna sneeze and then I didn't. Now I'll probably sneeze quickly here. But, no, no, the Lindsay Clancy thing, when I first started, because I'm pretty firm believer that if you're good enough to try to go get help, that you're probably good enough that you know right from wrong, that you should be held accountable. And I still think to some degree she needs to be, but boy, have I seen a system in her, like the places she went that have failed her miserably. And medical professionals that, in my opinion, this is just my layman's opinion, somebody who's had to deal with a few of these kind of people, but that they just kind of got in the thing of if a little medication is good, then a whole lot of medication had to be better because boy, did they, you know, just keep pushing that on her. And even when she really tried and went to an inpatient one, they after 8 hours now, they didn't accept her because they said she was over medicated. And her one nurse practitioner who was just handing her pills like she was a Pez dispenser was like never even checked to see why she didn't get accepted into that program. And you'd think if you seen that she was over medicated, maybe you would stop some of the medications. And I think they did a little bit, but man, it was like some of the stuff how much of it they had her on. It just was scary. And it's like, I know she was really bad. And I think there's a lot of blame to go around in this case. And a little bit's her on her. A li- I may be different. Yeah, she needs help. And she's been held accountable. I mean, her life's never gonna be the same, and she needs help. She, it's just sad that it took that much to finally get anybody. I mean, even she's told her husband that she had thoughts of hurting her children, and that just kind of I could not leave somebody in charge of my kids if they told me they had that kind of thoughts. I would, maybe that's too simplistic of a view, but I would have real trouble, like once I heard that without them going through some major, you know, rehabilitation of some sort, and I don't think she had since then. So it's just, yeah, that really, so I think there is a little, not a lot of blame because he's thinking that she's trying to get help and going to these doctors and I think there was only one that really was trying to help her. The rest were just trying to push her through, and figured, well, she'll get better, get her on the medication. And and I know and I'm guilty of this too because I know some of the medications, I mean, and there's no advice being given here on what you should and shouldn't take and because I've tried been on a few different things and different dosages for some depression and anxiety. But like, yeah, yeah, I think he thought he was doing the right, that she was doing okay and better or something at times, and that he was doing the right thing. And yeah, but like I said, I'm not nothing, no recommendations on anything from me. I'm just telling you my experience with some of the medications that they are talking about in this because I know and that's one thing that I had wondered if this was more of a lifelong thing than just a postpartum thing. And they kind of did answer that a little bit because she had been, um, yeah, because I did kind of put the warning, there's a trigger warning. Don't be, I am, and that I'm not giving any medical advice, nothing like that. I am purely just my experience with what I've taken and how I felt. And yeah, uh, when she was young or in college, they had said she took Prozac. And so that meant she did have some, at least anxiety issues, maybe some depression issues in college. So she had a kind of a past with it. Maybe not. And maybe it wasn't that severe. I don't know they never said what the dosage was at that time. So I don't know if it was a high dosage, low, what kind of, but I had kind of wondered that if this was just a, because it kind of made it sound at first like it was only postpartum. Yeah, yeah, and no medical advice being given. Um, that that oh, I just wondered if it was more of a lifelong thing, which I think there was a little bit. Yeah. So I I do think she's suffered from it more than just the short term that they kind of made it sound like, which I don't know if that helps or hurts. I don't think that makes much difference in that. But yeah, but that they kind of said she knew what to expect with it. But I don't know if she had had it in, but you don't even have to have it in that high a dosage. I started out very low, and my gosh, they had told me there will be my and coincidentally enough, I had a nurse practitioner who actually, uh, did, first prescribe it to me, and she had, yeah, she had, warned me about, I mean, she's definitely went through the side effects, but you still kinda think, "Ah, it can't be that much," and some of them she didn't really, it's hard for you to understand some of them, but there were, like, I mean, some of them they said you'll probably get a mild headache and have that off and on for several weeks, which I did, and I said it was very much like a wave. It would come and go. It would get worse and worse and worse, and you'd almost think that, "Man, this is getting to be a fairly bad headache," and then it would just, like, break over the top and be gone, and then you'd be good for a couple hours, and then it would slowly start creeping back, and it'd come on like a wave again and just get worse and worse and worse, and then it'd break and be gone. It was a weird thing. I had, hot flashes that would go the same way. That was kinda weird. So I got to experience menopause, I suppose. Did that for a few weeks, but that was kinda told that that could happen, you know? They said a lot of, like, flu symptoms kinda you'd feel like, which I did. But I really doubted my, um yeah, I would say I doubted my, if I could, I didn't know if I was rational or not. And I asked, I have a sister who knows pretty much and is privy to a lot of my medical stuff, and I asked her to, watch out, and so I would ask her, you know, watch, and I had to ask her a couple times, "Did I seem okay today?" or something, because it was like I wasn't sure if I was being a little different. And usually she would say, I could tell, I mean, she could tell some days that I was a little slower doing something, or that I thought about something a while, or, that maybe I had the headache and it just bothered me a little bit. But she never thought I was like making any kind of weird decisions or anything like that. Everything was pretty normal as far as my decision making. It just, so that was good. But it made me feel like I was not doing, and I could see where that's tough to get through for, like, 3 weeks. It was not good, and it definitely made the anxiety worse, and, yeah, I'm not gonna go into how much worse it made it, but it made it a lot worse, because then it started getting better, and then it was like, "Well, we gotta up the dosage because the starting dose is not enough really to treat it." So you go up a dose and it starts all over again. And I can see where somebody that's in the midst of having issues would not want to. I mean, if you were in that kind of situation, that would seem like forever. If you were in where you were trying to, take care of your kids, and it was something where it was kind of a limited time that you have this issue and you're trying to get through that, I could see where that would be very disturbing. That you're going like, "Man, I gotta get through some more weeks of this before it's gonna start helping," and the feelings that you get because it really makes you, yeah, it does not feel good when it's, but, yeah, so I can see where she would have trouble sticking with that because it happens quick. It's like 3 days and you go from feeling like yourself to being a completely different feeling person with it. So, and it's not a good feeling. But in my case and why people would do this, I mean, I know some people have asked, why would you put up with something that takes 3 or 4 weeks and then um every time you have a increase in dosage, you have to go through that again. It's You gotta understand, I went through decades of the anxiety and bouts of depression. So, having, 3 weeks for me wasn't, you know, I could look ahead and go, "I've done more than that." You know? It was like 3 weeks was nothing, you know, easy to get through. Now, it didn't seem like it in the middle of it, I'll be honest. I the anxiety got really bad for a while, and, it was I could see people giving up. So, I don't and especially when you can go to a doctor and say, "Hey, this is just feeling really bad," or "I can't sleep now," and they'll go, "Okay, I'll give you something else." I could see where it would be easy for her to just get, that they just keep changing. I can understand that, and that's a really bad thing, and I know some things like she's got a nurse practitioner, or a couple of them more, which there are a lot of them. That's my basic, um, healthcare provider is a nurse practitioner, and she does a very good job, but she also, I think, knows her limitations, and she will refer me to other, she knew right away with some of the stuff that I needed a neurologist, and so it was like, "Okay, I'll get you," because the neurologists take forever to get into, but, and that's, and with mine, m my anxiety and depression is genetically linked. I mean, it's a genetic issue that, so it's caused by a genetic anomaly that causes physical symptoms, but also can cause psychological issues. So it did both. But anyway, so no, and then I had seen that she was on Buspirone, Buspirone. was at one time, which I didn't notice anything on that, so I can't really talk of what that does or doesn't do because I've been on it, but I didn't notice any difference. So I don't know what it seems to work, seem to help. I think that's more of just something that adds and but I think that's something that you have to be on the Prozac for a while before it helps. So, as far as I understand, I don't know, not a doctor. Don't know that kind of stuff. And then they like to give you the hydroxyzine, which is basically, antihistamine. Lot it it makes me tired. It's just when you're having, you know, really bad anxiety all of a sudden or something, you can take that and I will take a nap. You sleep through it. That's basically what happens. And I don't know if that's good or bad, but that's what it gets you through it. Yeah, and yeah, you go through the meds and yeah, but you kind of have to. It's they help because I do definitely feel better. Something important. I think I'm gonna leave it like that. Have it kind of streaky. Put my I can save some of this paint for later. I put it down, give it a spritz of water in there. It'll seal it up. They actually, and I have a thing that does work better for keeping it. Yeah, and it takes some, yeah, getting the right combo of meds and then if you're taking them for other things, yeah, I take some for that darn stupid other junk that I have, uh, rheumatoid arthritis, so it doesn't help with that, and it's like, so that just adds another thing that though those shouldn't have any interaction, but they kinda upset my stomach sometimes, and so it yeah, just with stuff like that. No, and then there's been a lot with telehealth with this, and I'm a big fan of telehealth. I actually do quite a bit on that, but I also force myself to, you know yeah, 89 now. No, I'm not 89. Yes, we'll get a little laugh in here. No, I don't always laugh. No, but earlier today, the poor lady, man, I was watching Mo and she kept stopping the one, well, it was actually yesterday that she was testifying and she would have the the bad guy from World War II mustache because when she would stop it, that's what she had for a mustache, kinda. It would be right in the mic would go right in the spot it shouldn't be, and it was doing that all the time, and she looked just like him, and it was really funny. Um, but no, the telehealth stuff, just, I have a feeling it's gonna get a bad name from that, and I think it does in the way they were using it. that they were only some of the people only seeing her by that way, and most of them, like, the 2 that I've done it with, wanted to see me first in person and wanted it to a couple times before they would do telehealth. I mean, they did the preliminary stuff and made sure and a lot of questions, and then, like, the first one was kind of a trial telehealth where they made sure it was okay, and I think I do quite well with that, and I one has told me that I'm it's not much different than me being in the office, which he can't say about everybody. Because he said some just daydream in there and don't do a thing, which wouldn't help. But no, it's but if that's all you're seeing them, it's so tough. And people think that, like, I don't know. I've seen people that just misconstrue what mental health is and, like, who you can talk to because they were saying, "Well, why couldn't she talk to friends and tell them this?" And but she could tell a doctor or something. It's so much easier to tell a doctor than it is to tell a friend or family. I mean, like I said, it took me 3 or 4 decades to tell my family. Soon as I went into a doctor, I could tell them. You know, it was like because they were clinical about it. Yeah, unfortunately, some are hypersensitive to the side effects of those class of medications and cannot go through the longer adjustment periods because they cannot function or even stay awake. No, and I know that it's not simple to find meds that help. No, and some need the more the like the therapist type and that type of thing. It's you know, or even diet or different things like that or exercise, which I was told exercise would help, but it didn't help. I was in great shape when I was at my most depressed. I was in pretty awesome shape a couple times, and it didn't help a bit. Yeah, but no. So, no, but I think telehealth can be used good if they for if they don't, I think they have to see them the first time or 2, unless it's a big distance thing and somebody's being, you know, referred from one that knows an expert in another part of the country where they have actually looked at them and can say, "Hey, this person is more your specialty," you know. Yeah. Mm. Queen says, "Yeah, there's no way I could have done it with the kids around. I did good enough to make myself go to work." Yeah. Yeah, and it's just like and some of the stuff, it's like people think you can just admit to, like, having difficulty. Because I was one they said, "Well, it was her best friend was you know, a psychiatrist or psychologist," and it's like, "Yeah, but it's your best friend. You're not gonna tell them. It's not that easy to tell them that you're having these issues, you know? It's still your friend, you know? It's like" yeah. But no, I just wanted to, like yeah, it is blowing wide open, and the problem is too, is that now it's kinda nobody had talked about it, now everybody's talking about it, and everybody's got things, and it's like and I don't wanna sound like not everybody does have something, because I know a lot of people do, but eh, there's some people that are just a little sad or a little, you know, I mean, you have a bad day. It's like, tell me when you have 30 years of not wanting to go outside, and then I'll believe that you had anxiety, you know, or something. It's like, yeah, there's different levels of it. And when it gets to the point of where yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah, you wouldn't go to a any kind of psychologist, psychiatrist that's a friend. No, I know a lady that went to a psychiatrist and then ended up marrying him, and I think she just is kept on perpetual drugs. Yeah, that isn't a good thing. Last time I ever seen her, she was so whacked out. Yeah. Ugh. No, but that's kinda what I wanted to. Yeah, it's best to be. Yeah, I know some doctors don't require it, and I can understand if it's like a long distance, some things you just can't. But with mental health, it's so hard to be able to read the people and, you know, the notes that like, when I have been to my psychiatrist, I'll go read the notes that he does afterwards, and it amazes me kind of the things that he notices and puts down in the notes. There's a lot of little stuff, he notes how I'm dressed and groomed and stuff like that. You know, if I'm making eye contact with him, if I'm looking away, he would notice and that some of that's like picking up, um, if somebody was hearing voices, you can tell because they'll look to the side like they're trying to, quiet something. And yeah, yes, yes, queen. Yeah, and Shenny's saying that I'm not good at going to the doctor. I wonder if I'd be good in going a telehealth. Doubtful the poor person would never be let off the phone. Yeah, yeah, they're pretty good though about. I mean, that's just like doing a stream. I mean, it's just you're talking to them one on one, back and forth, and it really isn't bad. Yeah, yeah. I don't go out and about and do much. Eh, yeah, it's not. Oh, that's what I should. Okay, we want to laugh. I'll give you a laugh for the day. This past weekend I did have a few. Um, I may have had uh, a couple margaritas. I hope Mike's enough to do this that we get to work. Also, I'll just have to go put it in Discord, and it won't work here. And here, I wanted to have the big unveiling in my video. It's trying to work. And I don't wanna it's gonna take a second because I clicked the wrong thing. Okay, local video. Okay, on "Hey, Bobby, nice to see you." Okay, we're gonna get a laugh on me here. On Saturday, we kinda had a, family get-together reunion thing, and there might have been a water slide at it, and I might have had a few margaritas. So, that might have led to something, and we'll see if I can get
I saw that.
that's enough for that. Yes, a water slide. Well, kind of, it was no, I'll do it one more time. So, okay, I am on the right side, and my nephew is on the left. I think you can tell the difference, but we'll do this one more time. Should go again. I'm on the right side on this one. Come on, play. Ah, it's not playing. Come on. Yeah, mine isn't working here. Did it work for you? Did it work for you? I don't know if that second time it did. It didn't want to for me. Mm. Yeah, I'll redo it and try to ah, yeah, I'm not real quick at this, so we'll try it one more time.
They're both are coming down both. I saw that.
I don't know why it doesn't wanna do it a second time very easily. Yeah, it just doesn't wanna do it a second time. So, well, you got to see a little bit of it. Maybe I don't know if I'll put that in. Yeah, even the kids got into it. They counted us down. Now I gotta get down. Yes, my feet were up in the air. Yep, his feet up, huh? Yep, they went up. Yes, my family had a good time there. We enjoyed. Yeah, yeah, the first time. Said he don't know how to click shit on her laptop. That's yeah, I don't yeah. Yeah, I was it was kinda cool out there, or I might have done it more. Yes. It was kinda cool, and the water was really cold in it, so it was not the most comfortable thing to do. Yeah, there's a loop option, but I don't wanna loop when I do it, so I don't know why it doesn't wanna loop. Yeah, it doesn't wanna yeah, I don't know why, but if I redo it, then it does it again. So, I don't know. I'm not good at that kinda stuff. Yeah. I could show a different one because I actually did it twice. I didn't learn the first time, and, yeah, it was just as cold the second time. Yeah. Yes, I have one other video of it, of me doing something like that, but like I said, there was a lot of margarita involved in this, and by the end of it, I wasn't feeling so lucky that it was only water on the slide, probably. I'll see if I can find that one. Yeah, Shenny would completely miss the slide and land at the bottom, slide at the bottom. Well, the the biggest problem is being up there is a big problem. I barely made it up the first time. I'll see if I can get the other video to work.
Guys, look at it. Taking time.
Yeah, and it doesn't want to. It. Oh, yeah, I don't know. That doesn't want to work that well for me. I know. Don't be telling me that. Not wanting to work. We'll try it one more time, but I'll do it so you guys can have a laugh at my expense. 'Cause I'd hate for you not to have a laugh today. Yeah, deactivate. That's what I tried telling myself on Saturday. Eh,
Guys, look at it. Taking time.
yeah, it won't show that one. Sorry. There's gotta be a way, and I'm just not. It's not wanting to. My computer's probably just too slow. Yeah, I tried. You got to see the one at least. The other one I looked more drunk in anyways, and even though that one was first, because I didn't realize that the inflatable sides were not very strong. What was that? We'd hear a woo. Yeah, yeah, yep. Yeah, man, do it, do it, do it. Yeah. No, I'm not a boomer. It's my computer's being a boomer. Yeah, that's what it is. My computer's booming. No, but that's probably about all I got to say today. Now that I've showed that, I might go put. God, if I put the, I was doing it sharing a local video. Maybe I should try doing it that way. Maybe I should open it and then share my screen. Yeah, maybe sharing a screen will work better. I'll try that once. Can't hurt. And then I can have it all ready and at the right spot. Okay, we'll try this. See if this works any better. Yeah, Deuce is scratching himself and he wanted a treat. I'm getting there. I'm just slow. I need a mouse for this because I'm too slow on my that little that little laptop mouse thingy. Okay, now I gotta share screen. I gotta remember where share screen. Media player. Yes, I was on the left side that time. So we'll try that one more time so you can look at me on the left side. Did that work? You don't need to hear the sound. You really don't. I don't think that. Yeah. Yeah, the sound doesn't help much. It really doesn't. I'm not gonna worry about the sound on it. Not that one at least. We'll try the other one again and see if I remember. We'll do the one I did before and we'll test that now and see if okay. Share screen, window, my leg. No, I didn't get hurt. I felt great afterwards. Oh, their audio with okay. Okay. Now this one I'm on the right.
So they're both are coming down both at the same time. I saw that.
There. Now you happy. There. No, I actually survived it fairly well. You don't see any 89-year-old guys doing that, so don't be calling me that old. Yeah. Hey, I was the oldest one, I think, to go down there, and nobody else was going down that older than me, which I don't know if that was good or bad. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, feet up. I just figured I was yeah, it was just freaking cold. I don't know what it is. I might be 67. Six. My brother's gonna be 67 this year. Oh, okay. There. I've showed you embarrassing stuff now. Oh, Bobby didn't get to see my chicken, but I got a new chicken. I can show him my chicken. Oh, I'll do that the same way I did the other stuff so I can. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yes, I got another chicken, Bobby. I didn't want to really, but my sister had another one getting picked on, so I had to take it, and there she is. Um, and as I told everybody, she's a little she got a little picked on more than the other one. Sometime I will do a portrait of her too, so but her name is Noodle, so now I have noodle soup. So that's gonna be it for chickens. I do not want any more chickens. I am happy that that's all the chickens I want and don't need any more, nothing more. That's it. Uh-huh. I am done with chickens. Yeah. They're not really. Yeah, no, I have noodle soup. Yeah. Okay, everybody. I'm gonna be going now, and you can all have a hopefully a good rest of your day. I don't even know how I'm gonna get out of here. See if this has my other thing. I don't even know where my I don't know where my stuff is. I'll probably just I'll play the music out and somehow get out of here. No, I don't we can't have guinea fowls in town. They're too loud. There's some people just on the edge of town that are only like they're close enough I can hear them that have peacocks, and it's like, yeah, I don't need guineas too around here. Oh, no. Have you tried standing? No, that Shenny? Oh, yeah, they're nice and quiet. No, yeah, I've been around guineas a lot. I know what they're like. Okay, have a fun day, you too, Shenny. Yeah, yeah, I'm sure you can. Yeah. Okay. Goodbye, everybody. I'll talk to you later.
Goodbye for now, no step still leads to you. Goodbye for now, until next time. This ain't the end, just a pause in the line. Hope you had a good time. Oh, I truly did. I enjoy our visit more than I admit. The sun may set, but it will rise. 1,000 colors in the skies. The echo lingers soft and true. Every step still leads to you. Goodbye for now, until next time. This ain't the end, just a pause in the line. Hope you had a good time. Oh, I truly did. I enjoy our visit more than I admit. The clock ticks slow, but you're away. Fast it flies when you stay. A mystery no one can explain. Goodbye for now, until we meet again. Goodbye for now, until next time. This ain't the end, just a pause in the line. Hope you had a good time. Oh, I truly did. I enjoy our visit more than I admit.